welcome to my fitness journey. We're starting this video off here today the same way we're going to end it, in this exact same spot. I just wanted to say welcome to the journey. This video is going to be a week of my fitness journey, so I hope you enjoy it. But anyway, to explain a little bit more of what's going on, let's send it back to me in my office. Back to you. Alright guys, so I feel like I need to explain what this video series is going to be about, and you know, if you guys want to follow along, there's a few people in my comments that have been saying like I'm looking forward to the fitness journey because I really need some motivation, and watching you may help me out. So in this particular video you're about to watch, we're going to go through a week of my fitness journey. So me going out, going on the trails, working through an injury that I caused myself for pushing myself too hard. And those are the little things that I'm going to be teaching you, and we're going to be experiencing together, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. And hopefully give me some tips and tricks too. Let me actually turn, because the light is right here, and I feel like this turn you guys around. That's better. So yeah, on this journey, I'm going to do a video a week. So every Sunday, I'm going to do my weekly fitness journey, right? So I'm going to take you through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All of that's going to be combined into one video on Sundays. And the idea is to just hopefully motivate you to come along with me and try it out yourselves, but also learn from my mistakes. Or maybe you just want to see some beautiful California mountains. As this series progresses, obviously we're going to go through seasons, because right now we're getting into winter. So you're going to see some winter seasons out there on the trails. You can see how it changes from like dry dust to beautiful colored, colorful flowers on the mountains. Also, we can go to like Malibu, the beaches, and go on trails around there. We can go in the Santa Monica Mountains. We can go to all these cool places. So if you want to just come along for the journey and watch me doing trail running just to see how beautiful it looks, that's fine too. So that's what's going to be happening weekly every Sunday. Today is the very first video, so it's a little bit longer because I'm having to explain everything. So that's going to be once a week. We may start doing it more daily if people want to see more in-depth things, like they want to see every single day, like what do I do, what do I eat every day, what's each hike look like, because it could be like a 20-minute video every single day doing this, but for now we're going to combine it into a week just to see how you feel. But anyway, other than the weekly videos, we're also going to have a month-end recap. So I'll be telling you guys where we started off the month in weight, what we looked like, and then what we ended up at. So what we ended up. So like this month, for example, the last day of this month, there'll be a month-end recap, and that'll be every month on the last day of the month. And we'll just talk about progress, right? What did I weigh at the beginning of the month? What do I weigh at the end of the month? What do I look like at the beginning of the month? What do I look like at the end? What's the food? How have I changed in food? What have I learned? As far as running is concerned, what have I learned? What's the progress like? Like I started off the month running X amount of time. Now I can run, you know, what can I run now? And also, if there's any of you guys out there in the community that is fitness people, that do trail running, let me know. Give us some tips and tricks in the comment section. It's more than welcome. But this entire thing is more so just, you know, I've watched videos myself trying to learn how to do this, or not learn, but get into it. You know, and I feel like it's all professional runners, and obviously you want to listen to their advice because they're professional runners, but also I feel like it's not that relatable, because starting off running is a lot more difficult than maybe what you remembered it like months and months, years ago. So for this channel, we're going to be starting off together. And the thing is, I promise myself, I know for a fact, 6 months from now, we're going to come back to this video right here. Maybe even sooner than 6 months from now. So hi, me in 6 months, we can put this exact clip in the video. We're going to be in great shape. And hopefully you guys have been along for the journey since the beginning. That is this video right now here you're watching. Because I have not a single doubt in my mind that we are going to be in the best shape of my life 6 months from now. And you guys can too, so hopefully you follow along with me. Also, this video, there's a lot of wind noise. I have purchased some mics so I can put on to eliminate that, but I'm waiting for, there's a cable, you know what I mean? There's a cable. There's always a bloody cable you're missing, so I'm waiting for that. So next week's vlogs, we're gonna have new sound, and we're also gonna have this tripod right here. So while I'm out on the trails, instead of holding it like this and being like, hey guys, I can just set this down, and we can, but I can set this down like I was saying, and we could just have a chat. And I don't need to be holding yous up. Anyway, let's get on with this video. This is going to be day one and it starts off rough. So let's get into it.
But before we get into it and start off this journey, since this is episode 1, I need to catch you guys all the way up to where I've been to where I currently am. So this is a picture of me last year. So just around the same time as now last year. And like, I wasn't overly overweight, but I was definitely overweight. The highest point I had ever got, the highest I have ever seen myself on a scale was 199 pounds. And I'm sure I went over that, I just never saw it. Now the problem was, I had high blood pressure. My average resting heart rate was like 98. I used to drink a lot. I mean, not like insane. Well, yeah, I mean, realistically, you know, you go out once a week, you get drunk. That was just how I lived. I used to go out all the time. We used to drink, have fun, and it was awful. I also used to vape. So everything was just, my life was not spiraling out of control, but health-wise, it was awful. I hadn't worked out or ran or exercised in like 15 years. And I was eating junk, I was drinking, I was vaping, I was addicted to nicotine. I wasn't exercising. So in December this year, I remember I was at Universal Studios on New Year's Eve with one of my mates. And like I said to him, I'm like, by the summer, like I'm going to be in shape. And that day, New Year's Eve, I said I'm going to quit drinking. Now, that didn't work. But what it did do is I cut back a lot. Like, I went from drinking like every week to like having a few beers once a month. And it slowly got less and less and less to the point I'm at now where I don't drink anymore. I haven't had a drink in like 2 months. And I don't crave drinks. I don't want drinks. I'm totally fine. And I'm happy. If you guys follow along my streams or my gaming channel, I drink nothing. I haven't had anything but water in like 3 months. And I'm one of the most luckiest people on earth because water is my favorite drink. I have loved it my entire life. But anyway, so yeah, that was me last year. I quit drinking. I quit nicotine. I decided I was going to start turning around. I started eating a little bit better. But I just want to be completely honest with you. You guys can get in shape and be fit. I had pizza yesterday. Okay. Like, I want you guys to come along this journey with me. Because I know there's some people in the community that said they need some motivation to do it themselves. And you don't have to just eat like a rabbit. You know, I had pizza yesterday. I'm still doing this journey. It's a lot of fun. I ran 6 miles today and I had pizza yesterday. But anyway, so starting in June this year, like I say, I just want to catch you guys all the way up. This is going to be a longer video because I'm catching you all the way up until current day today. And then we're going to just fly for the rest of the next 6 months. But in June, I decided I was going to start working out a little bit. So I bought this treadmill. Hopefully I could find a picture of it because I don't want to go out and set it up right now. But it was basically, it wasn't powered. Like you didn't set it to what speed you wanted to go and go. It was self-propelled, right? Which is what I wanted. So I could sit out in my backyard, in my back garden, in the sun, and just walk myself. So that had an incline on it. You couldn't flatten it. It was an incline. So I told myself I'm going to do that for 30 minutes a day. And it was brutal. The first week was agony. And I hated every second of it. And still to this day, I think running 6 miles is easier than 30 minutes on that treadmill. Because on the treadmill, you can see the time. You can see how long, you know, you're constantly looking down. And every minute feels like an hour. It shows you the distance. And it was awful. I absolutely hated it. But I did it anyway. So fast forward, then in August this year, you guys know I went on vacation. I went to Florida with my family. And when I got back from that vacation, I weighed myself for the first time and I was 175 pounds. So from New Year's Eve last year at almost 200 pounds to 77 or 75 pounds in August this year. So I had lost 25 pounds. And that was just from cutting out alcohol or cutting back on alcohol. Because at that point I hadn't even stopped drinking. And cutting back on like junk. Like I ate a lot of like potato chips, crisps. I used to go through like a bag of crisps like every night after dinner. I'd eat dinner and then I just got in the habit of watching TV eating chips. Like it was awful. I completely cut that out. I don't eat them at all anymore. And to be honest with you, that you're talking like 5, 6, 7, 800 calories just in chips a night. Like it's insane now to think about it. So anyway, from cutting back on alcohol and cutting back on junk food and stuff like that, and just doing a little bit of exercise, and that was only starting in June. That was 6 months into the year. I was doing 30 minutes a day on that treadmill, just at walking speed too, not running. And I had lost 25 pounds. So I got back from the vacation, and for the month of September, I didn't exercise really at all. I started getting worried because I didn't want to go on the treadmill because, as I told you guys, I hated it. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm starting to gain the weight back again because I'm not exercising. I was kind of starting to eat junk again. And then one day I was like, all right, it's October. I think it was October 1st. I was sorry, I've got I can see a hair in my where is it? But yeah, started in October. I think it was October 1st. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back on the treadmill. I weighed myself. I was still like, I think I was 177 pounds. So I was like, okay, I'm still at a decent, it's not like I gained a bunch back. I'm still good. And I was like, you know what? Do I want to go on the treadmill or do I want to go for a walk, like a hike? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the love that I have right now started on October 1st. So if you are wanting to follow along this journey and you're like, I can't run at all, you have got to be kidding me. I did not start off running, but you can get to where I am today from 1 month. So on October 1st, I started hiking. I went to a hiking trail and I would hike 2 miles. So I went a mile out on pretty flat surface. I went a mile out, turned around and came a mile back. So that was 2 miles. And I did that 2 miles a day for about 3 days. And then I upped it to 3 miles a day for like 3 days. And then 4 miles a day for 3 days. And then 5 miles a day for 3 days. And then by the end of October, the last week of October, I had set a little route for myself. It was around 6 miles and it was pretty tough. It was way more technical. There was a lot of inclines and declines and it was a lot of at this point, my muscles had been hurting pretty much for an entire month because I was constantly pushing myself further and further. So for the last week of October, I did this 6-mile loop that I had created for myself. And by the last day of October, I could do it easily. Considering I started off the 1st of October, having never done it, and then I ended October doing 6 miles, that is what I would recommend if you want to start out. So I'm basically like a month or 2 ahead of you. So if you're following along at home, it's good to watch these videos because you'll be able to see what I learn along the way and the mistakes I make. I'll be making them like a month ahead of you. So that way you guys won't have to make those mistakes. So after the month of October, where I started pushing it further and further and further, but like this, gradually, I didn't push myself too hard. The last week, I made sure that I could do it. I gave myself an entire week of doing the same loop, and it got easier and easier and easier every single day. And I told myself, because I felt like I could run, and at this point, I hadn't ran in 15 years, right? I was like, my bones aren't going to know what's happening to them. So I started doing this, like I say, and I got up to 6 miles a day, and I started moving faster and faster. Right? So even when I started off doing 2 miles, like the first day I just walked there and back. The second day I started doing the same thing, but just faster. And then third day, faster. So it got to the point at the end of October where I was basically power walking the 6 miles. And I was like, I could run. I feel my body is like feeling like I was like, I want to run. So I told myself for November, I'm going to start implementing running. So I would run the flat parts because when I go hiking, there's a lot of inclines and declines and it's pretty, there's like 1,000 feet of elevation overall in the run that I do. So I just started running the flat bits. And even that was difficult. I hadn't ran in 15 years. So I was like, we're going to test it. So I ran. And I ran as far as I could. And it wasn't very far at all. And I was out of breath. My legs were hurting. And I just stopped. And then I walked for like a mile. And then I ran a little bit more. And that's all I did the first day. I just wanted to test myself. So the second day, I was a little sore. And this is where I want you guys, if you are going to follow along this journey, after your first run, test yourself. After a month of hiking or walking, do a run and just test yourself to see how far you can run. And then the next day, give yourself an off day. Because if you haven't ran like me in 15 years, you're going to have a little bit of pain and your body's going to be like, what are we doing? So that's what I would recommend. That's not what I did. This is where we're leading up right now. I'm explaining how I got to where I am and we're leading up to where this video is going to start. So I didn't take an off day. I was just a little stiff. The next day I pushed myself a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. And keep in mind, a mile on a trail running is not the same as running a mile on the street or on a treadmill where it's flat. This is trails. It's uneven ground. There's dirt. There's rocks. It's a little bit different, but I was like, okay, my first time doing the running, it was like a 15-minute mile, then 14, then 13, then 12, then 10. So it got to the point where I was at like a 10-minute mile, which was fine for me. I was very happy with that. But that had taken like 10 days of slowly pushing myself a little bit further each day. But then by like the 10th day, it was the fastest I had ever run. And then I was just in pain. I was stiff. I felt like I had mentioned it later on in this video, you'll see. It felt like I was frozen. like I've been to the Antarctic and then I just had to start running. It felt like my bones were just aching and my knees were aching, my hip was aching. And I just thought, oh, I'm just rusty. I just need to shake off the rust and it'll be fine. So I didn't listen to my body and I pushed through that pain and carried on running. And the thing is, after a couple miles of pushing through the pain, the adrenaline kicks in and everything like that, and you don't feel the pain, but you're just basically pushing it off until later. Which leads me up to, if you saw the board over here, which you can't really see, but I did it on when I did a tour of my office, the last video before this. Let me actually show you. So here is the board that I was just talking about, the board in question. How do I zoom out? I feel like I need to, whatever. So ignore these, because this is obviously for the gaming channel stuff, subscribe for tacos. But these green ticks, so obviously you can see this is November 1st. This is when I started running. And every day you can see I was running. Tick, 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 until this day, the 13th. So I was almost 2 weeks into running without a day off. And I said I walked it and I had hip pain. And then the next day I couldn't walk because I had hip pain. So I basically pushed myself for 2 weeks without a day off, pushing myself further and further and further, not listening to the pain my body was in, thinking it was just rust. And it got to that point where I couldn't do it. I pushed myself, I injured myself, and I was out of commission for about 2 weeks. And ladies and gentlemen, now we have officially caught up. You know why I started this journey. I wanted to get fit. I had high blood pressure. I had my heart rate, by the way. I said it was a 98 resting heart rate, what my average was. My average heart rate now, my resting heart rate is like a 61. And that's in like 2 months. That's not in the year. That's from when I started hiking. It's gone from a 98 to like a 61. And there's a lot more, obviously, stuff that goes into it. If you're interested in that side of this journey, like the actual health side, I could talk about that. But for fitness-wise, ladies and gentlemen, we've caught up. We've gone over everything up until this point. I injured myself. I was 2 weeks out of commission. And now we have officially caught up to this vlog. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it of me on my fitness journey for this week. And it's going to start off on like day 1, day 2. But then we're going to get to like day 5. And then next week, it'll be day 6, day 7, day 8. Because we're going to carry this on until we're on like day 500. So if it looks like it skips a day, like it says day 3 and then it goes to day 5, that's because day 4 wasn't recorded. It's more so of just a track of how long I've been going on this fitness journey from when I started this video series here today. Anyway, now that we've caught up, I feel like I've been rambling a lot. Let's jump into the rest of this video. Enjoy. Is this thing on? All right, guys, listen, I am ready. I've got my running shoes on. I'll tell you. So, this is the first time. Why am I blurry? I feel like I get blurry on this. It's probably because I have the light in the background, to be completely honest with you. I probably should have filmed it from the other side. But this is the first time in, it feels like 10 days. How many days has it been? 9 days. 9 days. The first time in 9 days. I'm still not perfect. I still have a little bit of pain. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to go for a walk today. I'm not going to run. But part of me is like, just wait until you have zero pain left and it feels like you've never had any pain. And part of me is like, you may as well just ease back into it. You're good enough now. You can walk. Let's just do a light little hike. So I think that's what we're going to do today. Here's the thing. I don't know if I've talked about it already, but I want to talk about it again. I went from hating hiking. Well, first of all, I went from not understanding it at all. And I just never wanted to do it. And then like now, these past 9-10 days, I've been craving it. I want to do it. I miss it. I feel like I've wasted the last 9 days not doing it. And it's crazy. So anyway, we're going out for the first time. I've got my running shorts on. I've got my running shoes on. And we're ready to bloody go. Let's do this. I'll take you guys along with me this time. It's just, I mean, we're injured, but I'll let you know how it goes. Let's do it. All right, first things first, got to tie up our laces. And these are cool because you literally just you can't really do it with one hand, but you just tighten it with this, and then you just pull this thing down. So yeah, you just do this, and then pull, and it's like tight. And then I just took this in here. Perfect. And these shoes are good for like trails because of the grip on the bottom. They're made for like trail running.
And I definitely need the trail running shoes. But anyway, yeah, so let's go out. Today's update day, so I've got to be back here in a couple hours to do the update video, the weekly update video. I'm currently, as you guys can see, just did one part of it. But the rest of it, I don't know what the weekly update is yet. So let's get out, let's get into the car, and let's see how I'm feeling today.
All right, so first of all, I'm just going to do a little bit of warm-ups here, as you guys can see. I did some in the house that I didn't record, but I was like, you know what, let's just record a little bit. They're not the greatest thing in the world, but just some basic warming up. And I'm not technically running today, so I don't need to warm up that much, but I did it anyway, just in case when I go out on the trails that I can actually, you know, run.
Alright, so I need to know if there's any runners out there. I had this pain when I first got these shoes, and I have flat feet anyway, but before this I was running in some just Adidas shoes. I'll throw them up on screen here. But then I switched to trail running shoes, which are these I'll put up on screen right here. And I'm getting pain on the inside of my foot here and on the outside here. Feels like my foot is being just like pinched, like really tight. And because I have flat feet, I feel like that's what the issue is. But do I just suck it up because it's probably, you know, me breaking these shoes in? Or is it something that I should be like, okay, I need new shoes? Let me know in the comments if you know anything about running. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's get to the trail. All right, so this is for Instagram because a lot of people have been asking to see what the car sounds like, even though I'm probably not going to post this on Instagram. I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to hear it. The car shook, that's for sure. So I absolutely love this car. The problem is, you may have noticed, see how the headliner, this just came down. Look, the headline has come down. So in Southern California, you can see, I am sweating. It is hot outside. We're on our way now to the trail. But because it's so hot, the glue that holds these things up just melts. So I have it booked in anyway. This is getting replaced, a new headliner put in. I absolutely love this car, but it needs a lot of work. I've had it since new, and this year, probably the beginning of next year, we're gonna do a lot of stuff to it just to get it back to where it needs to be. All right, let's get to the trail. Alright, so it's not looking good, boys and girls, to be honest with you. My hip is just... Obviously when you're in the house thinking, oh, it's getting better, you can't feel it when you're sitting at your desk, right? Trying to recover for the last 9 days. But now it's hurting. Not only that, below my knee, on my right knee, is bloody hurting. I feel like I can't catch a break. It's so frustrating because I obviously have fallen in love with it. Like doing these exercises, getting out here. I mean, look at this place, it's bloody beautiful. I don't know, I sound like I'm out of breath. It's just hot. It's hot and I'm in pain, so it's kind of like a mixture of the two, which is causing me to be out of breath. But I really want to run and I can't. So I usually run from where I am now, basically to the base of that like mountain you can see in the distance. And then I run across the edge here and then go down, and it's about 6 miles. I'll show you the full thing eventually. I just won't be doing that here today. So I'm gonna try and go as far as I can. I just feel a little stiff. I'm thinking we'll go a mile walking, turn around and come back. So that'll be 2 miles, basically to the base of that mountain I showed you. And when I get to the base, we'll catch up with you. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so it's officially been a mile. I hate this part of the walk. I'm sure this is gonna not do it any justice, but the drop from the trail here down is very steep. That always gives me anxiety, man. So we're at the base anyway. Let me show you my watch. And can I also say, the iPhone is absolutely... Well, this is an iPhone 15 Pro. And unless you're like zoomed out this far, you can't see anything. My old iPhone bloody 6 used to be able to see clearly from close up. This thing's dog water, man. But yeah, it's just a pain in the butt. Anyway, 20-minute mile. Usually when I walk, when I do hiking, it's about like a 15-minute mile. Keep in mind, this isn't flat streets. This is up and down. You can see by the way I'm walking that I'm limping. But this place is beautiful. But yeah, 20-minute mile. I've been in pain. I'm definitely visibly limping, which is super annoying. My knees hurting, probably because I'm compensating for the limp. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm just so fed up, man. It's so annoying. Since the beginning of October, I've been doing so well. And then I think I may have just pushed myself too far with the running without taking a day off, you know. And now it's been almost 10 days without any exercise, without coming out here. Today's the first day back, but I'm definitely in pain. Look at these views, man. It's beautiful. Yeah, maybe I should have took another week off. I don't know. It's like, do you know when you get injured or you hurt yourself or something, or you have a cold or anything, and you don't remember the last time you felt normal? It's kind of how I feel right now. I don't remember how it feels to be able to walk without being in pain. And it's really frustrating because all I want to do is go for a run. Like, I'm not out of breath. It may seem like I'm a little out of breath right now, but that's just, again, the heat and just walking or hiking on trails in general. But I'm not out of breath. Like, I want to run, but I can't. And I can't even walk fast. I wasn't even going to do this trail that I'm doing now. I was going to just walk back the same way I came. This one's the same distance, but it's a lot more technical, which I probably shouldn't have done, but it is what it is. All right, I'll come back to you guys when we get to a nice little peak up here. All right, so now's going to be a test, because I got to go up here, which I know doesn't look very steep on camera, but believe me, in real life it's pretty steep, especially when you're limping. So let's get to the top here real quick. All right. Okay, we're at the top of this peak. Like I say, we just came up this. It doesn't look that steep. To put it into perspective, I can't even see on here. I think it's these two. Yeah. Those are two fully grown men. They look tiny. That's the trail we came from. So now we're going to go back this way. Problem is, I am out of breath from that climb, which is fine. Don't mind being out of breath. But it's currently 11:30 a.m. I've got to be back home by noon so that I can do the weekly update video for you guys. So on what day is the day I'm recording this? Sorry about the wind, by the way. Sorry if it's windy. I am planning on getting a better mic for when I do vlogs like this. But it's windy on top of mountains. What do you want me to bloody say? But yeah, on Wednesdays, when the weekly update videos are out, I usually do this in the morning, like a 6-mile run before I do the video. But then most of the week, other than Wednesdays, I usually do it when I'm done with recording, so whatever time that is. Sometimes it could be 10 a.m, 11 a.m, noon, 1 p.m, 2 p.m, 6 p.m. It varies. Got to record it, edit it. But yeah, so I got to get back anyway. Lots of cactus, don't want to fall in here. I got to get back, so you know, I feel like this is just my life now. You know what I mean? You know when you start feeling sorry for yourself and you just accept it? I'm just like, yeah, this is my life now. This is the pain. I'm not going to be able to run anymore. So dramatic, man. But it's been like 10 days of no exercise. which doesn't seem like a lot considering I went 15 years with no exercise. But since I've been doing this, it's been absolutely incredible. So anyway, I'll come back to you guys probably when we get back home, because I don't expect anything crazy to happen. But yeah, we started like down there, and then we've walked all the way down here to the base of that, and then back on ourselves up onto this like crest here. Now we got to walk all the way back and then back down and out. And I can't wait to when we start running again, because this is where I usually go. We run all the way down here, all the way down there. There's a waterfall down there, and then there's a little walkway down there next to, you see that walkway? There's some people walking on it. That's a pretty decent zoom, I'm not gonna lie. Next to the river, yeah. We usually run down there as well, so soon, man, soon. Something else I never mentioned when you're walking these trails, you've really got to be careful because there's rattlesnakes everywhere around here. And we also have cougars, mountain lions. Those aren't as common right near these trails, but they're here in these mountains. But rattlesnakes, there's tons of them. Every day when I do this run, or hike as of now, I always see, you can see the trails that they've left behind when they're crossing over the path. Haven't seen any today, but haven't really been looking. But yeah, you've always got to look out for rattlesnakes, it's crazy. One of the things I didn't mention is that, I'll talk to you guys more about it when I actually get back and get fit, is usually it takes me 2 miles to warm up. And what I mean by that is I obviously do the warm up at home, but then I do a warm up, when I start my run, usually I'm in a little bit of pain, you know, you're aching a little bit, you're breathing heavily, you're out of breath, you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. But after 2 miles, you're fine. You know, the pain goes away, you can just, and then I can just run for like another 5 miles, no issue, not out of breath or anything. But today this is usually the point in my run that I'm like, okay, now I'm warmed up, now I feel good. And I kind of do. I do feel pretty good now. The pain has subsided a little bit, but that's not always a good thing. It could be just adrenaline and stuff. It's kind of masking the pain, which I don't want to do right now, that is for sure. But yeah, anyway, I'll come back to you guys. Just wanted to mention that before I forget. Alright, so we're back. Running shoes are off. I don't know what the pain is. The pain was gone by the end. Like I say, I feel like the first 2 miles are like a warm-up. And then after that, I don't feel that bad. And I can just keep going and going and going. But today I just did 2 miles. It said I burn around 300 calories. So better than nothing. But it's a sad day, man. I need to get all these green ticks on my board again. But it felt rough. I definitely could feel it. There's no way I could have ran. There's no way I was going to be able to run during that. It's just frustrating. Like, there was a guy twice my age. He must have been, I don't know how old he was. But he was running past, he ran past me going the opposite direction. I was like, oh. Good for him. I'm not shaming him for being older than me. I'm just saying, like, it made me feel like, oh my God, come on, man. Get it together. But it's not my fault. It could be my fault. It could be because I haven't been giving myself rest days. So I think going forward, as soon as this pain is better, I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. Today was just a test to see how my body felt. There's no way I could do this often. Like I say, it was a 20-minute mile. And usually I walk it because I like speed walk the hike. And keep in mind, hiking's different than walking on the streets, right? There's a lot of elevation. For example, today, my elevation, I think, was about 300 or 400 feet. But when I do the running, typically the 6 miles, it's about 1,000 feet elevation. So it's not like running 6 miles on the street. It's a lot more challenging. Sometimes you have to walk because the inclines are so steep. But anyway, it was like a 20-minute mile. Usually I run that in like 10, 11 minutes. So yeah, it's difficult. But anyway, like I say, going forward, I'm going to give myself a rest day. I don't want to because I enjoy it so much, but I feel like I'm going to have to give myself a day off to rest. My goal would be for my rest day to do the same thing I usually do, but instead of running 6 miles, to just hike 6 miles. So if I could do that on a rest day, that'll be great instead. But I need to listen to my body, and if it's hurting, I need to take a rest day. Because even leading up, there were so many warning signs leading up to my pain. Like for a week before, I was stiff, and I just kept saying like, oh, it's because I was running yesterday. I just feel stiff today, and I was stiff. It wasn't necessarily pain. It just felt like my bones were frozen. You know what I mean? I just felt stiff. I'm like, it's okay. Once I loosen up, I'll be fine. And for the most part, I was, but I kept running day after day, and I was getting stiffer and stiffer and stiffer, and it went from my knees to my hips to my back. Everything was getting stiffer and stiffer to the point where then I was like, ow, no, and now I've pushed it too far, so. But I think what we'll do is we'll see what it's like. Let's fast forward to the next day, because I'm sure you're going to want an update. Yes, today felt okay. Little bit of pain, little bit of limping, but I've been getting better and better every day. So we're going to jump ahead till tomorrow, and let's catch up to you when we're back on the peak again, which is usually my almost 2 mile mark where I said this is usually where I feel good. Let's jump back to that location tomorrow. Future me, and see if it's any better. Alright guys, I'm here. Day 2, back at the peak where I said I was going to be. It looks like I'm doing the exact same thing and it's the same day. It's not. I just have like 10 of these t-shirts that I run in. I forget that it's Thanksgiving today when I'm recording this. So there's a lot of people out on the trails. It's pretty busy. But as you can see, right now I'm by myself. So I thought that it was going to be easier because I didn't really have any pain. Even on the warm-ups, didn't really have pain. And then I got here, started running a little bit. And yeah, there was the pain. It was back. But I've been walking and there's no pain walking like there was yesterday. I did a 14-minute, 50-second mile instead of yesterday. I think it was 21 minutes. So better. I just have an internal dialogue with myself right now that's, you know, telling me, I feel like the sensible part is telling myself that I need to stop and take a break and not go full. So don't run, don't do the whole 6 miles, even walking, just do what I did yesterday, 2 miles. But then there's the other part of my brain I'm fighting with. It's like, you're fine today. It doesn't even hurt that much. At least walk the 6 miles. You don't have to run it. It's like you're just being lazy. You're just making up excuses as to why you're not going to do it. So I'm just like internal dialogue. It's the ADHD part of my brain that I've learned over my life to how to work with. Anyone that has ADHD, you know, ADHD paralysis, where no matter how much you want to do something, you just physically can't do it. I've learned over the years how to like work around that and push myself through that when I get into that mood. But I feel like this is the opposite. The sensible part of me is telling me not to do it. And there's like the ADHD part of my brain is the one that's telling me I'm lazy for not doing it. But anyway, we're going to listen to the sensible part and we're going to just head back. So we're going to head back along this trail like we did here yesterday. And yeah, so that's day 2. So I'm hoping day 3, I'll come back to you guys in this exact same spot. And by the way, the audio is going to get progressively better. Maybe even by the next little clip we watch. Because I have ordered a microphone and I ordered a tripod so I can set this thing down and talk to it instead of holding it. So anyway, that's day 2 for you. I feel like I can run. I feel much better. I still feel stiff. It feels like I've just walked out of Antarctica into like boiling hot and I'm trying to run and my bones are all stiff. That's how it feels. But the pain is going away, so that's good. So hopefully by tomorrow I'll be able to run properly. And I'll let you guys know. So anyway, that's day 2 update. All right, let's move on to day 3. We are back, baby. First of all, how bloody gorgeous is it out here today, man? A little more overcast today, but bloody beautiful, not as windy. Not at the peak I usually record at when I'm talking to you guys. That's up there, but there's some people. So I was like, yeah, I'll just record here. We're back. Like, I don't feel really much pain at all. So just over this video, you've seen me go from pain to 20-minute mile to yesterday was almost 15-minute mile. And today was an 11-minute mile for the first mile. I think I'm going to do the whole 6 miles. So I'll bring you guys along with me. I'll show you just some of the nice places. But I'll have another vlog later next week, in the middle of next week, showing you like the full run and everything like that. But for this one, I'll just show you some of the nice places like this. All right, this is mile 1. I'll see you in a minute. Let's go. All right, so we will be doing this today. I'll see you guys all the way down there. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to run and stabilize this thing. That's for sure. You're just gonna have to be running with me bouncing all over the place. I'm not gonna stop yet. I'll stop when I get to the bottom over here. But it's been good so far. A little bit of knee pain, tiny amount. I mean, I think that's fairly normal considering I haven't ran in 2 weeks, so. All right, I'll come back to you in a sec. So guys, we're about 3 miles in right now. I'm just looking around me to make sure no one's here. It's so awkward. I don't want to be filming myself and there's people around me. It's Black Friday today when I'm recording this, so obviously it's been Thanksgiving. Everyone seems to be off for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what the plan is today, can you see the ducks? There's ducks there somewhere, I swear. So anyway, what the plan is right now, we're halfway through. I'm going to run back up to the top and then I end up coming back down here. But I'll show you guys the exact run. I'll do a different video next week showing you all the run. But this video is already long enough. It's more of just an update, isn't it? Showing you what just my fitness journey. So I'm going to come back to you guys. I'm not going to be back on Saturday because I'm going to bring my dad along with me on Saturday and we're trying to do a walk together. But then on Sunday, I'll bring you guys with me. And then I'm going to post it. You're watching this on Sunday. So I'm going to do the run on Sunday. We'll wrap it up there. Let you guys know how it's been. And yeah. Anyway, I'll see you. Let's fast forward to Sunday. Right, I know I told you. Let's skip till Sunday, but we're at the end now. I've done the 6 miles of that same day. Just thought I'd let you know how I'm feeling after the 6. I feel bloody good. Don't feel any pain at all. And I'm feeling good, so it'll be interesting to see. Like I say, tomorrow I'm going to walk with my dad on a hike. And then on Sunday, I'll catch back up with you guys. All right, let's jump to Sunday. All right, guys. And just like that, we're back to where it all began, where this video started. Today it's windy as hell, so I apologize. We ran today and it was incredible. I feel good. I say we ran today. We're 2 miles into the 6 mile run. I am going to next week. I'll show you guys a little bit more of the trail and what I run, and because this is more me being just here on this peak. See how windy it is, man, on this peak. But I've upgraded what we're going to be using to vlog, so I'm starting to use my phone. But next week we're going to have a new microphone, just so you guys can hear me over this wind, and just a better mic than this. And I also got a tripod so I can like set you down and then talk to you guys. It looks like I'm carrying a bloody lightsaber, but it's fine. But yeah, it's been a fantastic week. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, welcome to the journey of me trying to get fit. Oh my god, look at me. As far as this week and how's it been, well, you guys have seen the week, and the fact that today I'm running with zero pain, I feel absolutely fantastic. The pain is completely gone. I'm running downhill right now, which is usually what causes the most pressure on your knees and stuff. So luckily for me, I've told myself I'm going to start taking a day off in the week now. So Mondays are my day off. So today is Sunday. So tomorrow, even after this run, I'll have Monday off to recover. But my God, guys, what a bloody difference a week makes. Started off this literally like limping. And now here we are just a bloody week later. Not even a week later, a few days later. But I have been out of commission, as you guys know, for, 2 weeks from that injury of pushing myself. So anyway, that's the end of this week. I hope you guys really did enjoy. Next week, we'll go into a little bit more detail on this trail, like me running on it. I'll also have my tripod so I can talk to you more. I'll have a better mic. I'll be able to run with you guys and show you a little bit more, show you the waterfall and all of that stuff. And obviously in the week, this place is dead. On the weekend, like today, it's a little busy, but on the weekend it's dead, so we can go down to the waterfall and stuff. But anyway, next week's gonna be awesome. If you're following along, let me know in the comment section if you're gonna try and do this too. Follow me on this journey. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's a lot easier than you think, I promise you. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next weekend with another video. And I'll see you this week with some behind the scenes of the gaming channel stuff. But as far as the fitness stuff, I'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a fantastic one. Goodbye. Guys, what the actual hell is that? I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. It is huge. I let it go because I didn't want to get too bloody close to it. But it looked like an ant, but it was, I don't know if the video did it justice, it was like this bloody big. It was massive. I've never seen anything like it. It was like someone did the Honey I Shrunk My Kids, but the opposite way on a bloody little red ant. I feel like if I would have stood on that, I would have been locked up for murder. That wasn't an insect, that was a bloody living bloody animal. Also, earlier in the vlog, I showed this clip. And I didn't give any context. That was a coyote. It was a coyote. It was following, like, there was a family that was up on the trail in front of me. And they had a little dog with them. So it was following them. It was literally so close to me. But he ran away as soon as he got pretty close to the family too. They picked the dog up. He must have been hungry. Like, that's one of the things that scares me doing these trails. Like, if you come into a pack of coyotes, what the bloody hell do you do, man? I don't know.